free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water! I stay hot tub! Stay hot tub!
Pick them up, Coach. Pick them up.
Gonna make it wet! Stay hot tub! Rubber tub in the hot tub! Rubber tub with me! Chuck in the hot tub!
Yeah!
Really make me sweat!
Yeah!
Chuck in the hot tub!
Yeah!
Really make me wet!
Well. Can we just do that for about 2 hours? Well.
It wouldn't be dead air. It would be
better than most of our shows.
Well. Thank you, Brock. Well. Good morning, Wildcat. What's going on, Big Daddy?
Good morning. You know, I've got a problem with this whole Jaron Duran suspension for 2 games without pay because he made a slur. I mean, here's a guy, a professional baseball player, that's getting heckled every game. So it would have had to been a really, really rough, mean, hateful heckle to make him to respond to something like that. And I don't know what he said, and I don't know what was said against him, but if somebody heckles me or calls me names or says my mom wears army boots or something like that, you know, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say something back. Right. So I don't think that's fair. I know you're not a.
I haven't heard that your mama wears combat boots in 30 years.
All right, now
that was a great line.
No, he's about 90. He's about 90.
You've been looking at pictures of my mom.
Wildcat, just turn the other cheek, man.
No,
it's not what they say to you.
Well, maybe that's what he did on the field. That'd be the one I'd show him.
Yeah.
Lynn and I never let people get up. We just kind of walk away.
Right.
We don't pull our gun out or anything like that.
Well, you didn't have for sale signs in your yard either,
right.
did you?
Hey, listen, the breaking news today was kind of sad because I remember when this program was really good. They've had some great players come through out
Anderson,
there.
Yeah,
play in the NFL, play at Florida, everywhere else. But Graceville has canceled his high school football season this year. Now, they're still going to have football there. They're going to have a JV team to try to get the numbers up the best they can. This affects some teams. Other teams had kind of known it was going to happen. They've already rescheduled other teams, and other teams are having to do it right now. So we feel bad about this, that a team would shut down a football program because they don't have enough teams playing. Well, people left and went to other schools.
Right, yeah, they had to transfer, and then.
Not because of NIL.
No, but there's transfer, and when you're playing, if you're on a school, most of your players play 2 ways, and so if you only have 12, 13, or 14, that's just a safety issue. You can't do that.
I don't care what anybody says. I'm kind of worried about football. The numbers are down compared to when we played. Even when we coached, they're down. At one time in our country, the sport was baseball. Everybody played baseball. Then football took over. It's been over the main sport for a number of years. Soccer's growing. We were talking about why kids are not playing football like they used to. Soccer's growing at a high rate. Baseball's coming back big time. What else?
Just the thing about soccer and football is they're always scared of the concussion rate and also injury. The knees. But if you look at soccer, and they don't really publish this, and Brian and I were talking about this earlier, when they start doing the headers and all that stuff in high school, that's where you get concussions from that, and then the sharp cutting, and you can hurt your knee. I mean, it doesn't really, what sport, if it's an active sport, I don't care what anybody says, soccer's a contact sport. I mean, now football is a collision sport, but
there's so many reasons. I mean, so many more kids are inside. There's less funding. There's,
Here's one of the big ones right here. We're all on these. We all
phone.
playing
I mean,
games,
no doubt.
playing
But you also
games.
have, new sports. I mean, lacrosse is coming to the South. And I say coming to the South, it's already here. You talked about the expansion of soccer. I mean, you got the story out of the district yesterday is approved funding for 2 new beach volleyball courts, which, I don't know if that's only going to be female to start, but Arnold Bay and Mosley are going to field teams this spring. And I would imagine it's just a matter of time, if they're not already, before they have guys playing that as well. So it's just, you've got more options. You've got, more people used to not being outside playing sports. You got less funding for things like that. And it makes sense at the end of the day.
You just said something when you said volleyball. I remember this. It just popped in my head. A bunch of our football players, the YMCA in Montgomery, one of them, volleyball. They got big, man. We would go play we go play volleyball, and that was fun.
You know what, though?
Loved it.
Along those same lines, I remember when I was in high school in Mobile, there was a big push to start guys volleyball. This was indoor, as a sport, and who the strongest people against it were? The football coaches, because it was going to be a fall sport, and they were honestly afraid it was going to take away, probably wasn't going to take away any linemen, but it might take away some of their skill position
I'm telling
players
you,
and
it was
just
fun.
any depth. Yeah,
we enjoyed it.
And they successfully kept it from becoming a sport for 20 years.
I can remember going there and we'd play. Man, we didn't want to leave. We never wanted that. And I'll tell you another thing. We played church league softball. You did it. Softball is fun.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier than baseball. And we were slow pitch. It wasn't fast pitch. But
Well, I
was
played
fun.
both, but fast pitch is amazing. It's just, and now because of all the technology, the hitters are catching up to the pitchers now, and if everybody seems to have moved away from California except for UCLA and the softball thing, and now the SEC's got Oklahoma and Texas. Two teams that played for the national championship.
Everybody says that in football never drop down, but nothing stays the same. Everything changes, and this new Super League that's coming, the TV, what we're seeing right now, people dropping. The Pac-12's gone, so we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Now, some other really sad news: New Brockton, I think it was Coffee County Superintendent Kelly Cobb. They had a death. A football player was killed. New Brockton High School freshman who passed away. Medical emergency late, I guess yesterday afternoon. And they don't go into detail what happened. He was a football player. Evidently happened at practice. Our hearts are broken. Families lost in our prayers and stuff. Anytime a kid is killed, could you imagine coaching any sport? And I coach football, so to lose a player, how that would affect you as a person. Yeah. I mean, you're a father to those kids.
Right. There was a family in Niceville lost their son. He got hit in the chest, and so they're the ones that give out the protective gear. They do that. They go around and pick out schools. I thought
Last couple of days, the news on high school football has been kind of sad. It's bad. We had a kid, and it wasn't one of our players. It was a rival school in Cape Coral. This happened, before, I want to say around 1990, maybe before then. A kid, a really good football player, stayed out the Lightning. They get him off the field. Well, he didn't come off. He went over there by the sled. The sled was near the field house, not way out in the middle of the field somewhere. And he's hitting the sled by himself, trying to get better. Great kid, great captain, worked his tail off, good football player. And lightning struck him and killed him. Nobody sued the school district. Nobody did anything. The parents were great about it. They honored the kid. I think they named the field after him. But this happened at Mariner High School. And now after that, they started having all these rules about lightning. Mm-hmm. Because at one time, you really didn't have any rules on any of this stuff. Well, common sense. They were like, hey, get off the field if it's lightning.
They used to tell us, get under a tree.
Yeah, I mean, get up under the metal bleachers.
Well, maybe that was just telling me. I started to realize something now.
Brian was the only one over there, and everybody else in the locker room.
So that's what happened to him.
I knew that coach didn't like him.
Realization.
We just got a text message, shows you playing volleyball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who said you that?
You didn't have to wear them hot pants.
That's right.
Ooh, yeah. Anyway, it's just Absolutely crazy. AP College Top 25 went over that yesterday. We have the ESPN's latest and last preseason. Their
till tomorrow.
Power rankings are out. They're going. What has changed? I guess they know what's happened the last 2 weeks in college practice. I have no idea.
But Texas keeps dropping running backs. That's
they lost
changed.
two. The top three, the first team and third team running back are gone. And that's not good, guys. You don't have the depth you've had in the past because everybody transferred. You can play. You're not going to sit on the bench. You're going to go sit on another school where you can play. That's going to affect them. Texas A&M lost a great running back. This guy was a guy that returned kicks all everything. He could fly. That's going to affect them somewhat. Auburn, as we talked about, Batty, I think it was the name. The kid got shot. They won their good special team
Tennessee
returners.
lost a starting DB, and
Florida's lost a big defensive lineman.
Yeah.
So injuries are a big part of it. Schedule's a big part of it. Turnovers are a big part of it. And this year, picking games, I think, will be the hardest ever because of all the transfer. And I think everybody's going to be surprised at how balanced. It's going to be a lot more balanced, I think. We don't know for sure, but we kind of think that. But anyway, getting back to Graceville, I hate that for them.
Yeah.
Right.
They've tried to build that thing back. The town has kind of gotten smaller also.
Right.
But Glenn, they were a good 1A school.
They were, especially, they had basketball and baseball and softball. It's just, I don't know if many people are moving out in that direction, and so the thing about it is it's a great school. I mean, I've called basketball games in there and everything, and great following from all the sports. But, like I said, if you only have 14, that's such a safety issue. You can't. I don't know if that's the number. I'm just saying.
When we were 1A back in 2000, we played them, I think it was 2000. And they had a good crowd. I mean, you would never think that would shut down.
Right.
Of course, now that's 25 years ago, too.
Right.
But
they had.
I remember watching Bluntstown come and play Arnold several years back, and it was less than 30. And I remember just being shocked at how small that was. Mm-hmm. So to think about trying to do it with like 14 or 15, you're right. There's no way.
I'd like to have Bluntstown's 14 or 15.
Well, I was going to say, Bluntstown won that game fairly easily.
Bluntstown was a big-looking boys.
When I was at Jinx, we had a ninth grade, we'd always go play Boniface Junior Varsity. And so they would only have about 20, but number 77 would come in and be quarterback if the quarterback got hurt. I mean, they scrimmaged the varsity all the time. So they're pretty tough, when you play those guys.
Some of these 1A schools are really good, and then it drops off real quick, and they come back because, they don't have a lot of cycle.
It's a cycle of people.
But unless you're Madison County, and then they don't drop off.
They always have 25 seniors, it seemed like. And one of the things
that's the biggest, more kids playing football there I've ever seen. And what are they classified as?
I think they're 1A.
But they have like 3A.
Yeah, because they have an alternative school, and they don't count that in their school count. And so the alternative school.
I don't see how they got
alternative school doesn't have sports, so guess what? So.
But how can they not? I never got that one.
They took it from Miami. You got to have 2 felonies to be on the team. So I mean,
Boot Hill. They will boot you at Boot Hill.
Let me tell you what, though. And they have a turnout too. So
what are you hearing locally? I think Mosley's going to be good. I think Bay's going to be good.
Yeah, I think and we'll see, because everybody plays this Friday. They go places, and so we decided, or I didn't decide, but we decided we'd just take a chunk out of Niceville and see what goes on there. But you know what? It's
take some of their money.
Yeah, well, we'll get some. But the thing is, it's going to be that's a good thing to do. They've lost some of their players too to some other schools.
I cannot wait. The 23rd. We're going to be the honorary captains, Julie and I, and we're going to have the first team to ever go undefeated, win a 2A district championship. 2003, they're going to have many kids they can get back. They're all over the country now, so they're trying to get as many as they can for that game. Right. But we want to definitely embarrass Glenn any way we can. I think we're going to take some signs, boo Glenn. We're going to do something bad.
Bring your lawyer out.
We're going to have something for Glenn Manley that day.
I'm waiting for Coach Hale to walk out in a Loyalty Matters T-shirt. That's right.
Yeah.
No, loyalty counts.
Oh, counts. That's right.
Yeah. Hey, Griff's going to have them ready now.
Yeah.
Griff's going to have them ready. I believe that. They're going to have. He's doing a good job. I think they're going to. I feel good about the future of Arnold football. I really do. I think he's going to do an outstanding job. Bozeman lost. They've gone up to, 3A?
3A, yeah.
We're 1A, so that we're going to have to watch and see how that affects them.
But they picked up some players.
He got that thing rolling. Yeah, they got a lot of good players in there from North Bay Haven.
Right.
Now, is North Bay Haven going to have a football team this year?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
yeah.
They are? Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard all kinds of different crazy stuff.
Yeah, they're working out now. So
okay, all right. Let's take a break. We get back. We'll surprise you. Dr. Ward 7:30, Wildcat at 8. Wildcat's going to do a little song he's been waiting on. Ask if he could sing it, and I don't think you're going to do the dance with it or just sing.
I'm going to do the dance with it, of course.
Okay, but you have to get on Facebook. Stop your car. Get on Facebook
at 8:30.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you. That's what I'm looking forward to, brother.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, so happy to have Taco Bell back with us. We got the Cajun place back with us. His high school football, we are selling out quickly. Appreciate it. Let's open up J. Michael's restaurant. Today is the day, world famous J. Michael's spaghetti. It will be packed out at lunch and dinner. They only do it once a week. And it's a sauce. He has a special sauce they use. I try to give me a little recipe of it, and no way. It's really good. Go check it out. They got the best seafood, the coldest beer at the legendary J. Michael's restaurant over in Lynn Haven. If you're out that way, you better get out to Lynn Haven Beef O'Brady's. Today, 10 wings, and I'm talking some big, juicy wings, not Glenn wings. I'm talking more like my wings instead of Glenn's. They're outstanding. They're huge. They're good. They're juicy. 10 wings, $9.99 and a side. Can't beat that. Also, sticking with our new one. That Cajun place, Brian and I go there every Saturday morning, watch the games, have wings, drink beer, $5 pitchers, Miller Lite, during live football games. Then, if you have a Saint jersey on Sundays, and on Saturdays, even though LSU's going to play USC, I believe, on Sunday night, you got the LSU shirts on, they're playing, they score a touchdown, you get a free Jell-O shot. If you're watching the Saints play, you got your shirt on, they score a touchdown, you get a free Jell-O shot. Great atmosphere, the legendary That Cajun place on Thomas Drive. And then Charlie Corn's place. Man, this is Food Wednesday. Charlie Corn's place, the best country cooking you'll get anywhere. You pick out whatever meat you want, 3 sides, $11 and some change. Then on Friday night, grilled or fried fish. Saturday is shrimp. And then Sunday, Glenn's favorite on Sunday, that fried chicken's incredible. They got great vegetables there, great atmosphere. The brand new facility on 15th Street. Oh, man. Hey, it's hot. It's miserable. I got Stevenson air conditioning. I'm not worried. You shouldn't either. If you're having a problem cooling that house down, you call Stevenson air conditioning. They'll come out. They'll game plan it. They'll execute it. It's going to feel great in there because Steven Air Conditioning is number one. Locals taking care of locals. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. What's Feinbaum got to say? Do you care?
No.
Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. I've been around all these sports and Olympics for such a long period of time. At one point yesterday, in the fourth quarter, I just realized I've got 3 of the greatest players that I've ever seen on the floor together. It's LeBron, it's Steph, and KD. We've been treated to some great basketball.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 9 miles per hour out of the west and a high of 95. Tonight, look for clear skies with a temperature near 80. Tomorrow, a high around 92 and mostly sunshine in the morning and then a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
It's here again, Toyota's national sales event. And this month at Panama City Toyota, you can get 1.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on the new Tundra. With its twin turbo engine and towing power, Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Get style for miles in the all-new Camry, explore the great outdoors in a new RAV4, or discover the new totally redesigned Tacoma. See you soon at our national sales event.
Offer expires September 3rd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Man, is it hot. Not only is the weather hot, the savings on name brand Western wear at that boot store is sizzling. during their 60th anniversary celebration going on now. Shop the hot deals in air conditioning comfort and be amazed at the tremendous selections of Carhartt work clothes and Western wear available at that boot store. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 until 5:30. Next to Bill Burkey at 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store where God is good all the time.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
I'm kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Well, I remember Glenn dancing to this.
Yeah, that was last night.
Glenn was always, everywhere a place was on Panama City Beach back in the day. Ladies' night, Glenn was there.
That's because I lived out there.
Yeah. Same thing in Nashville. I heard it every time, everywhere, ladies' night, Glenn was there.
Printer's Alley, baby.
Ooh, I remember Printer's.
I've
Well,
been
actually,
there.
I don't remember Printer's.
It was a blur, wasn't it?
BB
All right.
King's there on
That was
Printer's.
right
Alley.
behind the Sam Davis Hotel. I used to live there.
Ooh.
In the Sam Davis Hotel.
Do you remember I don't know, Brian, if you ever heard of it. You were in Mobile, probably not, but Robert E. Lee down the Gulf Coast was a hot spot at one time. The Robert E. Lee. Do you ever hear about that one?
Mm-mm.
There was a
I don't remember that one.
not a sports bar, but a nightclub there.
They don't like for out-of-towners to come in.
Yeah,
That's
don't.
where they wrote Leroy Brown, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, they did. If you're a Yankee, you weren't invited in there. Wildcat, you'd have been in trouble. They consider Kentucky Yankee land. And a lot of other things.
You're right. I would have been in trouble.
All right, Paul Feinbaum, he ran his mouth. Let's see if we agree.
Shocking.
Yes, it is.
Two most overrated teams in the top 25. Of course, you got Georgia, the number one team in the nation, or Ohio State. They're right there with them. Oregon, number 3. Texas 4, Alabama 5, 6 Ole Miss, 7 Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan, and Florida State. Florida State is overrated, and so is Penn State. Florida State, good chunk of their defense is gone. Their schedule is extremely tough. They were 13-0, 12-0 regular season, 13-0 overall. Did not make the playoffs. They got destroyed by Georgia in the playoffs in the bowl game in Orange Bowl, 63-3. He feels like that FSU is definitely overrated. He thinks Penn State, that finished 10-3 but lost to Ole Miss 38-25 in the Peach Bowl, he also believes they're overrated. James Franklin's probably the only reason I would say maybe they're overrated, but I think they're going to be okay this year. FSU, I think he's wrong. I think everything I've heard, even some of our boosters live here, big money guys here, they've been to watch them scrimmage and stuff, they think they're going to be really good. The key to them is the quarterback play. But Glenn, what say you? You're an expert on FSU. Is Paul Feinbaum right? Is FSU just overrated?
No, he just has to. He's trying to sell his program. He and Herb Street, I think they're bosom buddies. I'm not sure, but I think he's wrong. I agree with Penn State, and I didn't.
Well, you agree with Paul?
I agree with Paul on Penn State. I just think they're going to be mediocre. I don't think he's going to. I think he'll be in the top 25, but I don't think he'll be in the top 10.
Will he make the playoffs in the top 12, Penn State?
I don't know. If they're only going to take 2 or 3.
Now or never.
If they're only going to take 2, maybe 3, I don't think he'll be in the top 3.
Based on their roster, I don't have that much of an issue putting Penn State in the top 10 right now, but they are a little bit unknown. The only reason I don't think Florida State's overrated, I do think there's a bit of an unknown because they lost a lot. Mm-hmm. But I think, again, their talent's there. If you don't include Michigan in that, I think you're missing the boat. And I don't mean that as a knock on Michigan.
I'm with you.
They lost everything.
I'm with you.
And at 9, that just seems way too high for me. The only other one I would say, and I don't know that they're overrated based on what they did last year and what theoretically is coming back, I just have a feeling Texas is going to struggle this year, first year in the SEC. In my mind, they're overrated, but I don't know that.
Yeah,
they're not glaringly overrated.
See, Jason thinks the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, when you lose your top, you got 3 great running backs, lose 2 of them, you better be able to throw the ball pretty good.
Yeah.
You stole my thunder. Michigan, I was surprised Michigan, he didn't mention Michigan. He hates Harbaugh, he hates Michigan. I think maybe he just forgot, or maybe ran out of time, airtime. But, Brian, what you said about Michigan, knocked out of the ballpark. They've lost so many players in the NFL. They've lost their coaching staff. Then all the negative things are going on up there. Now, Harbaugh will not be the honorary captain.
That's correct.
He was going to be there. He's not going to be there now. His mother and father are going to replace him. And I don't think he wanted to be a distraction. I think, what did he say? Did he say something about it had something to do with the team, the 49, whatever he's at, Chargers?
I was amazed for two reasons. Number one, it was the greatest double middle finger to the NCAA I've ever seen.
Right.
But he and Ward Manuel hated each other by the end of this thing. That's why I was so surprised they were going to do it. But yeah, this makes a little more sense that he won't be there, because it would have been a huge thing, and it just would have further inflamed the NCAA, who already wants to stick it to Michigan for a lot of legitimate reasons, too. So, it's probably a good thing he's not going to be there.
I want to thank Jeremy Pridgeon for giving me the update about the young man that was killed, the young football player, and you rocked in high school. I'm glad he let me.
That's in Alabama, they don't know.
Yeah, it's a Bama thing, but God bless him. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, Brian, I think you did really well on that. Wildcat, what say you? Do you think that FSU is overrated? They're ranked number 10th in the AP poll. Do you believe that Penn State is overrated at number, what are they, 8th?
Penn State is overrated. FSU is not.
I like that answer. Okay, I can.
Is Notre Dame thrown in there anywhere?
No, are you kidding me?
I figured they would.
I tell you what, I got to give him credit. He's done a good job recruiting. I will say
he
that.
has, but
All right, what do you guys think? Dang, I just went right out of my head. Wait a minute. We were just talking about something. I want to ask you. Oh, the Hoover situation. I don't know. I think you talked about it. I don't think I've got Brian. Have you seen all that? Did you see the video?
Yeah, we talked to Jeff about it a lot on Friday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It was, I kind of apologized, having to start with it. We did 15 minutes on it.
Yeah, it was huge news up there.
The intensity part of it, I think any of us who, I will call it the get off my lawn crew, who went through maybe a lot worse and all like that, are kind of like, you really shouldn't be doing that nowadays. The kids don't relate to it as well. But I've seen helmets get ripped off. I've seen people get pushed down. The part of it that was disturbing was some of the inappropriateness of a few things, without going into too much detail.
The humping.
That wasn't right in the 70s.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it looked bad.
It really did. And
did you see the video?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the other thing I was asking is I didn't realize, that was like college level, practice cut video. And look, Hoover's well funded, but I was wondering how many high schools actually have that much film on practice. And you got to know it's on tape.
Right.
We're talking about.
I don't know. It was really dumb on the coaches.
Well, now everybody has the drones, and so you don't have anybody filming it. It's overhead. Yeah. And so only thing you can realize is sounds like bees flying around. But
see, that almost looked like tower footage from the end zone to me.
Right. It was a drone?
No,
it was a drone.
Okay.
And
it was very stable.
Well, and even our Bayhigh does the drones, and even the band does the drones now instead of buying on that.
All right, but we talk about.
I would have. Why'd you? If you know that's.
I know, but I think they had to give it up. I
was going to say that would have been a race.
The players were upset about it. The players do not want the coaches.
Correct.
They said that he was trying to take their shoulder pads off, which to me kind of.
I wish there was a way where we could really allow people the opportunity to kind of, show whether or not they have any remorse and actually earn their way back. And, and look, they didn't fire them. They resigned. I think they resigned with the note that they were they were, suspended. I just never liked that idea, of just fire, because you don't allow people to grow and actually learn from things, and you don't show the ability for people to grow from mistakes.
The head coach was a great guy, great family man, a good Christian guy. They had just did a big, huge article on him, and they had to cancel it because of this negative stuff. You know how the media turns on you. But one reason we don't get the big, huge crowds here more at Tommy Oliver is, let me show you what they do in Birmingham. They do live games on TV. They do big, huge interview packages with the high school coaches. They're covered every single day on the media up there. All of them. In Alabama, high school football is so big. The bands are huge. Everybody goes to the games. I'm in Hoover, Alabama, and I'm thinking all these people, all these different restaurants, they're talking about what's happening at Hoover. I'm like, that would never happen in Bay County. Well, maybe with somebody humping a kid, maybe it would. But
he didn't hump the kid. It was.
He humped the helmet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just be a little careful how you say
If
that.
you haven't seen it, you can. It's been on national news. You can see it, but be careful, coaches.
As a coach, I'm pretty upset with them, with both of them, because you just
don't do that.
You don't do that. Yeah. But I would have liked for there to be a way for them to, be severely punished, but have the ability to grow from it and learn.
Well, you mentioned all the money that they do. They spend a lot of money on athletics up there in that part of the world. They're going to be losing a lot of it, too. I mean, they're going to be giving away a big check to make this thing go away. Their lawyer did a good job in her presentation about her interview. It made that part of it made me sad. But anyway, Wildcat, let's talk about some of our great people.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Sure.
We're talking about if you get injured, if you're a coach and you pull somebody's helmet off and get injured, what you need to do is call Chad Mitchell. Go see Chad. He'll be there for you, does an incredible job.
I've seen him. You've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him in action.
After you call Robert?
Yeah. Yeah. Call Robert first, then go see Chad. Robert Fleming.
Robert will drive you to see Chad.
Yeah. Right. Anyway. This will be his 25th year on Bay County sidelines. The legend. He won't be this Monday, but he'll be here the following Monday. The guy's unbelievable. Everybody knows who he is. Dr. Chad Mitchell, 25 years on Bay County sidelines. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. You want the best Mexican food? You want to have a great time. Every Thursday night's karaoke. And this is a great place to go have birthday parties. TVs everywhere. Watch all the big ball games. And that best happy hour anywhere. Buy one and get one free. House wine, margarita, draft beer. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road, one of Glenn's favorite places, one of Brian's. We all love it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The place is incredible. Huge facility. Lorelei Layton room in the back. You can have a football banquet back there. Chamber meeting, birthday parties, you name it. And they cater. They do a great job. Ask Dr. Mann.
7 o'clock breakfast burritos.
Woo! Woo! Can't beat it. Just like newbies, you can't beat newbies. We don't have 3. We have 4. Glenn wanted one on his side of the town. He got it. Yep. Right over there at St. Andrews, the newest one. It's a beautiful blue building. It's gorgeous. Get in there and check it out. Newbies. Newbie 2 on the curve to go watch all sporting events. The Mothership's the best bands in the Southeast because that beautiful lady, Miss Charlotte, wants it, and she gets what she wants. Get out, Newbies. Have a great time. They do sponsor the FSU update. And we do have Taco Bell does our Port St. Joe and Rutherford update. Appreciate everything they do. And we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Almost 20 million people watch that gold medal win. And what's amazing about Steph, you still don't think he's great? He doesn't qualify as an all-time great? You just look silly doubting Steph Curry. Take out Magic Johnson. He is by far and away the best point guard ever. Only Magic is close, and Magic couldn't score like this.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin & Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He's the sexiest man on the planet.
Live and local from the J. Michaels Studio on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it live on air and everybody can hear, but I just think Wildcats do that.
Hey, at least you didn't have a hot mic through an entire commercials like I did on Friday.
You can't trust him. Just don't mention any of this on air. Do it, Elvis. I love that song.
There's not an Elvis song you don't love. What are you talking about?
Good job. Good job. I loved Elvis. Elvis and Dr. Ward have a lot in common. They're probably the most famous people ever, especially in Bay County.
So is that the James Franklin song?
Yeah. Let's bring him on right now. The man, the myth, the legend. Doc, how you doing, sir?
Having a great morning, guys. How about y'all?
I couldn't be better.
We're glad we can get you on the phone today. So
yeah, we're going to go back and let you defend your stance. We had two. Give us the rundown. You're a medical guy. You know more about we do. In the Olympics, okay? They beat the hell out of a girl, and the guy identified as a female. But I didn't understand some of the stuff. Can you Can you tell us really what's going on with that? What happened with that?
Sure. So there are people in the world who basically have male gonads, but they're rather than being external, they're internal, and chromosomally, genetically, their cells are all male. They have XY chromosomes, and they make male sex hormones. So yeah, it can be confusing, especially in countries where maybe the medical technology is not as advanced as here, where it'd be there are signs of this prior to puberty. But so you can see how someone could basically until boys and girls hit puberty, they aren't that different, except for kind of however the parents choose to dress them and style their hair and whatnot. But when these people hit puberty, they develop as boys. Okay. So so why is it incredibly unfair to put a boy or man into women's sports? Well, the body composition of women, especially in boxing, where it's all based on weight, it at high level athletics, just because of the female sex hormones, women are going to have a lower lean body mass and a higher, amount of fat simply because of the hormones that they're exposed to. They're going to, they're going to be a little bit slower and less quick.
Yeah.
They are going to be, there are really quick women, but if you watch the 100 meters, the men still outpace the women by a full second, Right. So, it's simply not fair in any way to a actual woman who isn't exposed to high levels of testosterone and has male genetics to have to compete against men. It's really not difficult to understand this. It's a bunch of politically correct people afraid to offend anyone And all you have to do is just know the facts that those two boxers were men. Like bottom line, they're men.
Let me ask you this now. I'm not being funny because I just don't know. I'm being honest with you. You said that they're internal, but once they go through puberty, does it stay internal or does it something start to grow?
Obviously, the gonads remain internal, but obviously under high levels of testosterone, the external genitalia start to resemble, a more male effect. No, it can vary. It can definitely vary from case to case, but again, the bottom line is physically these athletes are men.
Yeah.
Bottom line. It's a travesty. The two world boxing federations that sanction, boxing events, I think it's the WBO and the IBA, both disqualified these athletes from competing in women's competition because they were men. They didn't, and these athletes didn't even appeal the decision. One started an appeal and then dropped it. The other one didn't even appeal it because they knew there was no point in appealing it. Yeah. And the Olympics just basically, if it says you're female on your passport, you're a female. That's ludicrous. Yeah. Absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, it just makes it makes you feel bad that a female.
There's no gray here. There's literally no gray here. Like the people who are equivocating on it don't understand biology. They don't understand the advantages that men through puberty physically have over women.
Yeah.
And it's really for the women who have trained and worked hard and have tried to be the best women in their sports, it's a slap in their faces.
Yeah.
So everyone who's rooting for men to basically beat the hell out of women, it's the biggest anti-feminist position you could possibly take.
Yeah, I don't get it, Doc. The poor women that train all that long time doing, trying to live out their dream and win a gold medal and stuff like that. And she said, I remember I watched the interview with her, and she goes, I've never been hit like that before, ever. I've done this, and I've never been hit like this before. And he looked like a guy to me. Tall, big, and anyway, I'm with you. I think it's wrong. But let me ask you this.
But the thing is that there's no I'm with you. It's like the people who have a different position are simply either misinformed or they want men to be in women's sports.
Yeah.
Those are the two things. It's either being ignorant of the science or wanting men to compete in women's sports.
Let me ask you this. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I've got two granddaughters. Leighton, great soccer player. I don't want him playing with some guy that thinks he's a female. And now this Title IX, which Title IX used to protect female sports, now I don't think it's protecting at all. The politics of this got into sports. What do you think about this Title IX thing they're trying to change? What do you think about that?
Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous for the same reasons I outlined before. But in this case, you basically have, male athletes who realize that they're mediocre at best, and they're like, oh, well, look, I can just like take this testosterone blocking hormone and I can identify as a lesbian female. Oh, but I get to actually like be naked in the locker room with women. It's total freak show stuff that people are afraid to speak out against because they think it's not politically correct. It's absolutely politically correct to denounce it, and to the whole ideology behind this is abhorrent. And the people that espouse it, I mean, honestly, they should all have their heads examined. I mean, Clearly they have no traditional Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'd let my daughter, a swimmer, because we know the situation with the swim team. They even got weightlifters now that he thinks he's a female and he wins the state lifting, wins a weightlifting competition. There's no way I would let a guy go in there and change clothes in front of my daughter. There's no way. They'd have to put me in jail. There's no way that would happen. How much time?
What really needs to occur is parents and female athletes need to simply not participate in anything that includes these men or boys participating in their sport. If you have a track meet or a weightlifting competition and there's a man in it, the teams just need to pull out.
Yeah.
That a little bit of courage is all that it takes.
Yeah.
To put an end to it, and if all of a sudden a state championship no longer has any teams participating in it, then guess what? This ends quickly.
Yeah. Doc, what's the best way to get up with you? Skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop it. Where can we go to get up with you?
You can give us a call at 233-3376. You can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Panama City Beach, Port St. Joe, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Tafuniac, Spring, Bonifay, or Mariana. All it takes is 5 minutes to get checked head to toe, and we'll make sure your skin is healthy.
All right. I'll tell you what, Dad does an incredible job. He's cut on me several times. He found it. He got it out of there the first time, which I loved. You don't have to numb me up to 3.
He cut on you.
He's good.
Cut on you.
He's good.
He just goes in there and
he's good.
Boom.
He's good.
He didn't cut enough off of you.
Thank you, Glenn. I could say something good about getting in trouble.
Don't go.
I want to say it. Anyway, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You'll look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski can make that happen for you. I tell you what, does a great job. 23rd Street and also Pier Park. Go check it out. I think he'll make you look better. He'll make you feel, even Glenn Manley.
That's right.
Paparazzi Pizza is incredible. Went there last night, had a great pizza. We got a pepperoni mushroom and green peppers. Julie ordered. It was outstanding. Looked at the Paradise Cake, and I did not get it. I wanted it, but I didn't do it. Get out there. It's pizza season. Get out there and get your pizza. Call them, order it, go pick it up, or sit there. They got a new bar in there. Go sit there at the bar, watch all the games, and have a great pizza. Paparazzi on Thomas Drive in beautiful Panama City Beach. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want that yard to look absolutely gorgeous? You might have a big get-together. Football season getting ready to get cranked up. Call Patrick. Patrick and his crew come out there. They'll have that yard looking beautiful. Turf Pro Pest Control, #1. And you listen to Patrick every Monday morning at 8:30. I want some beautiful jewelry. Where can I go? You know anybody? Can we go see Russ?
I'll tell you what, you don't have to go across the bridge and fight the traffic. You can go to 830 Highway 77 in Lynn Haven to David Adamson Fine Jewelry. If you can dream it up, if they'll design it for you and make it a reality, give them a call at 624-1681 or stop by, like I said, at 830 Highway 77 and talk to Russ Klinger and his new partner, Amber. And he's a great guy, despite the fact that he's a 49ers fan.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. We got Dr. Ward with us. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
Chichi Rodriguez passed away.
It's my dad's favorite golfer.
Yeah,
Really?
at the age of 88. It's a legend.
Dang.
Yeah, 88.
That's nice.
No doubt.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even want to make it to the 80s. I see my grandparents, bro. 75. All right, cut it out.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 9 miles per hour out of the west and a high of 95. Tonight, look for clear skies with a temperature near 80. Tomorrow, a high around 92 and mostly sunshine in the morning and then a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Mike Atkinson. For the last 16 years, you've trusted my leadership at the Walton County Sheriff's Office. In that time, UCR crime rates have dropped 67%. That's no coincidence. You can count on me to serve with continued professionalism and provide the excellent hometown service you want. At our agency, excellence matters, as our law enforcement, fire rescue, and animal services are the first on scene. On Tuesday, August 20th, vote to re-elect Atkinson for Walton County Sheriff.
Paid for by Michael Atkinson Jr., Republican, for sheriff.
Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the Jane Michaels Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we're back, 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida. Yes, Wildcat is the best. He does play the best music.
Got Glenn up there boogieing around.
That's right.
Glenn can do it.
The hot leg, I think they wrote that about
Rod
me.
Manley.
Cut the rug, Glenn.
Dr. Ward, we have the top 25 out. I'll get into that in just a second. But I do want to, they have a list out, the teams with the most difficult schedule, most teams playing the most top 25 AP poll teams. The number one team in the country with the toughest schedule, according to AP rankings, is the Florida Gators. 8 teams ranked in the top 25. Number 2 out of the SEC also was South Carolina with 7. Then we had Arkansas with 7, all from the SEC. Then we had Oklahoma with 6 out of the SEC. The SEC is so brutal. Mississippi State has 6 teams ranked on their schedule. Then it goes to 5, and you have Wisconsin has 5 teams they got to play in the top 25. West Virginia has 5. Washington 5. Vandy 5. And it goes to UCLA, LSU, Houston, Georgia Tech. The Georgia Bulldogs schedule is last year's schedule for Georgia was really a joke. This year they got a really difficult schedule. Colorado 5, BYU, Auburn, Arizona, and Alabama all have 5 teams ranked in the top 25. Those are the universities with the toughest schedules in all of college football.
Vanderbilt should have all 12 of their games in there.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Doc, the top 25, did anything surprise you there? Did anything you thought, I'm not sure about this one?
Well, it may not surprise you guys, but I do agree with Paul Feinbaum that Florida State's overranked in the top 10. I think, DJ Ukulele has never really done a lot. I've never been impressed with that kid. He is no Jordan Travis. They lost a lot of guys on the defensive side. Obviously they're going to win a lot of games because their ACC schedule's not very impressive. But I don't think they deserve to be in the top 10 at this point if you just look at a talent standpoint.
I love going to Jay Michaels on Wednesdays after he's been on. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. People love him.
It's still Michigan for me. That's still the most glaring overrank. And I get it, you're the defending national champs, but there's no way this team with a new head coach and all the issues is one of the top 10 teams in the country. It's just no way.
All right, Doc, here's the latest on ESPN releases their final SP Plus preseason top 25. What they have found out the last 2 weeks, because we kind of keep up what's going on in practice, I guess the injuries, they do find out about that. But AP top 25. Let's just go to the top 10. Georgia and AP is number 1. Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan, Florida State. Here's the computers from ESPN. Number 1's the same, Georgia. Number 2 is Ohio State. Number 3 is Oregon. Everything's the same. At number 4, it changes. Alabama's number 4, not Texas. Texas is number 5 in the computer. Penn State is all the way up to number 6. AP's got them at number 8. Then you have number 7, Michigan. AP has them number 8. They're 7 by the computer. Number 8, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is not even ranked. There they are. They're ranked 6 and 1. In the computer, they're 8th. Notre Dame is 9th, Glenn's favorite team. And LSU is number 10, not FSU. Number 11, Missouri. And the same thing on AP was Missouri. Number 12 was FSU. AP had FSU at number 10. And then I'm going to finish up with the ESPN computer. Number 13, Oklahoma. Number 14, Texas A&M. Number 15, Tennessee. Number 16, Clemson. Number 17, Kansas State. 18th, Utah. 19th, Miami. 20th, Oklahoma State. 21, Southern Cal. 22, Kentucky. 23, the Florida Gators. 24, Iowa. 25, Auburn. And, of course, AP at number 11 was Oregon. Utah 12, LSU 13, Clemson 14, Tennessee 15th, Oklahoma 16th, Oklahoma State 17th, Kansas State 18th, Miami 19th, Texas A&M 20, Arizona 21, Kansas 22, USC 23, NC State 24, and Iowa 25. NC State's schedule so easy, and they got so much coming back. I think they're going to have a good year. I don't know how good they really are when they play tough competition, but they're going to win a lot of ball games. I do believe that. And it won't shock me they upset Tennessee week 1. Doc, getting back to the Florida Gators, I'm starting to believe they're going to be okay. I've been listening to kind of what they're saying at practice, some other insiders. They've got players that we don't know about. I think they're going to be pretty good. I think they're going to win at least 7 ball games. I'm with Steve Spurrier.
Yeah, I mean, I think you never want to sleep on the Gators. And if Napier can figure out how to win close games and manage the thought better, he could find success. I still think he's probably the coach, the SEC coach, at least on the hot seat right now. With that schedule, it's going to be really hard for him to keep his job. But we'll see. When you know your job's on the line, are you going to rise to the occasion and do better, or are you going to crumble under the pressure? We'll find out what kind of coach Billy Napier is this year.
Do you have anything you want to share before I get into this next little segment I want to talk to you about?
No. Let's roll on.
All right, here we go. I complain about this all the time. Saban's the same way. Look at your top 12 teams in college football. Look at your top 12 teams. You're supposed to pick the top 12 teams. We're not going to get that. They're going to give 2 teams, and 3 teams actually are going to, 2 are going to get a bye, and they're going to put a Cinderella team in the playoffs. So you're actually going to get the 9 best teams in college football at the end of the year. Not the 12 best. You're going to get the 9 best. Look where the Big 12 highest ranked team is. It's Utah at number 12, according to the AP poll. And Utah's not even mentioned in the ESPN computer. In the top, they're not even in the top 16. I don't even see them. They're 18th. Yet that's the best team in the Big 12, and they're going to get a bye. The runner-up in the SEC is going to have to play an extra game. The runner-up in the Big 10 is going to have to play an extra game. The runner-up in the ACC is going to have to play another game. Let's look at the ACC. The highest-ranked team in the ACC, AP poll, is number 10, Florida State. They're going to get a bye with 9 other teams supposedly better than them. If you look at the computer, FSU's the 12th ranked team. I don't like the automatic bigs. I think it's bull crap. All conferences are not created the same. I hate it. And this plays out exactly. Everybody knows it. We're not getting the 12 best teams. We're getting the 9 best teams. What's your thoughts on that? Are you okay with those 2 leagues getting a bye?
I don't think they should get a bye. I think the 4 best teams should get the bye. But I am okay including, kind of the Cinderella team, so to speak. Obviously the Big 12 team's probably not going to belong. You can argue. I do think at the end of the day, whoever wins the ACC probably is one of the best 12 teams. We were looking at, prior to this season, we were looking at most likely getting the 3 best teams in, because there was always politicking over the 4th team. Mm-hmm. Georgia should have got. To to try to make the argument that Georgia wasn't one of the 4 best teams last year was kind of a silly argument to even think about. Everyone knew Georgia was one of the 4 best teams, but because of politics and, it wouldn't be fair to Florida State, or it wouldn't be fair to whoever, I can't remember who got the 4th spot.
Alabama. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, Alabama was clearly one of the 4 best. But why? Okay, so Washington. Like, Washington was, they were undefeated, but Georgia would have destroyed them. So, I mean, I think it's a system we've lived with, where most of the time it's not really the 4 best teams. It's maybe 4 of the best, 6 or 8 with the politics associated with conferences. But now look, you've got a little bit more of the teams that are going to get in because of their conference affiliation, but you are going to get the 9 best teams into it, which is better than typically getting the 3 best teams into it. So, I think you got to just take what you got, and over time, if teams from the Big 12 and the ACC go 0 for 6 or whatever in the playoffs, it'll get modified because people don't want to see games that aren't competitive.
Yeah, I'm with you. Georgia was robbed as bad as Florida State. They did lose the SEC championship game.
Dude, Georgia was robbed worse. Look at the outcome of that Georgia-Florida State game. Like, I mean, what did they beat them, 63-3 or something crazy like that? I mean, it just showed that Georgia deserved to be in and Florida State didn't.
Doc, how do we get up with you? Where do we go?
You give us a holler at 233-3376. You can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, Mariana, Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Water Sound, or Santa Rosa Beach. It only takes 5 minutes to get checked head to toe to make sure your skin is cancer-free.
Doc, we'll talk to you next Wednesday. Be good, buddy.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you. All right. I got time. We got to go. Let's go. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
She said, don't give me no lines and keep your hands to yourself.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdog.
How LeBron just sort of took the game under his control and said, I am going to take over this game and finally win it. And you know what? It worked. It barely worked. It shouldn't have worked. It didn't deserve to work. And when the game was over, they were cheering and excited like they had some miraculous win. When LeBron and those guys should have just run out of the gym, they dodged the bullet.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 9 miles per hour out of the west and a high of 95. Tonight, look for clear skies with a temperature near 80. Tomorrow, a high around 92 and mostly sunshine in the morning and then a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231 and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
WGSX Lynn Haven, W Field 2, Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's here again, Toyota's national sales event. And this month at Panama City Toyota, you can get 1.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on the new Tundra. With its twin turbo engine and towing power, Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Get style for miles in the all-new Camry, explore the great outdoors in a new RAV4, or discover the new totally redesigned Tacoma. See you soon at our national sales event.
Offer expires September 3rd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tide roll. Hey, is the Michigan Wolverine guy calling now or what?
No. He was trying to call, and I'm sorry, Eddie, but we had Doc Ward on.
He knows that.
He knows that.
He didn't want any part of Jason Kovaleski.
He knows our format just as well as we do.
He did not want any part of Jason Kovaleski at all. None. Zero. We also got Fox. He's got their version of their top 25 too.
Brian and I are going to publish ours pretty soon. See if we can't sell it somewhere.
I think y'all should.
Mine's going to be entitled "Let's Wait Till They Actually Play."
Yeah, but that
makes too much sense.
Yeah, that won't be any fun. We can't talk about it.
That's right. That would be.
Oh, we can talk plenty about it.
It'd be reality. We don't want to have that.
The rankings pointless.
All right, Alabama update. I've got a couple things we did yesterday. Try to get in there, and I'll do them today if we don't get Rob calling us and interrupt us. Give me a second to find it. All right, I want to go back to the crystal ball.
Tell them to call in.
I actually have Auburn's crystal ball report today, and I'm going to get into Bama's. I actually got two of them, two experts picking these things. Here we go. Alabama, crystal ball predicting every game for the Alabama Crimson Tide 2024 football season. Week number 1 versus Western Kentucky will be a win. Alabama will get revenge week 2 after looking and being embarrassed down in Tampa by South Florida. Even though South Florida coaches run his mouth quite a bit, saying they're going to be ready for Alabama. I think Miami they're playing too. But Alabama gets win number 2 at home versus not Western, but South Florida. Then they get on the road. They go play a much improved Wisconsin football team, and they'll be challenged. Wisconsin's going to throw the ball all over the field. The home field advantage is for real. The jump around is pretty impressive. Jeremy Pridgeon will be at that ball game. It's going to be a close, hard-fought game. They got Bama winning a close one. Then Alabama gets a bye week. They get 2 weeks to get ready the game of the year for that Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs. Kirby Smart is only 1-5 versus Alabama. Alabama owns Georgia. Alabama is the face of the SEC. Always has been, always will be, as far as you know. This game is huge for both coaches. If DeBoer wins this ball game, he wins over the fan base. If he loses this one, it's going to be tougher down the road if he loses to a Tennessee, LSU, or an Auburn. Alabama must win this ball game. It doesn't happen. Kirby Smart gets his revenge. Kirby Smart goes into Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and he beats the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bama is now 3-1. Alabama now back on the road. This is week 6 of the year, week 6. They're at Vandy. They rebound big. They win. They beat Vandy pretty good. Week 7, Alabama's home. South Carolina comes in here. South Carolina plays better than most people think. Bama pulls away at the end. Bama beats the Gamecocks at home. And then the big one. I hope it's a day game. I hope it's not a night game. This game worries me sick. They play Tennessee. Tennessee, last time they played at home, beat the Crimson Tide, scored 50-something points. This is what they think was going to happen. And what scares me about Tennessee, the way they spread the field. The receivers are 1 yard from the sidelines. They spread you out. They throw the ball. They got a quarterback. They're good on defense. I think Tennessee's going to be pretty good. Tennessee turns the ball over, costly turnover late in the game. Bama holds on and wins. Bama beats Tennessee at Tennessee. See, you don't have to play the games, Brian. They already know what's going to happen. Week 9, Missouri comes into Bama. They're highly ranked. They're undefeated. They play the Crimson Tide. They play a great game. Their passing attack up and down the field, but Bama outscores Missouri. Bama wins. Alabama gets a bye week. Now, they're on the road at LSU. Alabama historically has owned LSU in Baton Rouge. It happens again. Alabama success continues. Alabama beats LSU. Now, week 12, a powerhouse Mercer team comes in there, and Bama beats them. Then, week 13, they're at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's waiting on the Tide. Bama's been out there before, and they've lost before. It happens again. Oklahoma upsets the mighty Crimson Tide. Alabama defense just couldn't get off the field. They couldn't stop Oklahoma's offense. Oklahoma wins. And the Iron Bowl, week 14, in a unbelievable football game, Bama pulls out at the end. They even give you the score. Alabama 45, the Auburn Tigers 35. So Alabama will lose to Georgia. They will lose to Oklahoma. And they did not say if they made the playoffs or not. Now, I had somebody call and interrupt the Alabama. Who is it?
No, I was going to call in and talk about Roll Tide just for you.
Well, I'll take Rob. I'll take Rob.
Alabama.
Hey, I wasn't going to take Michigan Eddie, but I'll take you. What's going on, big guy?
It's another hot, beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
But Alabama's going to be undefeated. I can't believe you got them losing 2
That's
balls.
Crystal Ball. I got them going 9-3. Crystal Ball's got them going 10-2.
Well, both of y'all should have to turn in your Alabama badges.
I'm just being realistic. I just think it's going to be tough. First year's always the hardest.
Well, my thing is how does everybody in the Southeastern Conference be undefeated but Vanderbilt? Y'all can't all play Vanderbilt every weekend.
Wish we could.
Yeah.
Hey, I was at Mississippi State a couple of years where we lost an inter-squad game.
What you got for us today?
Well, just like Brian said, we got to wait till the season starts. You know, you're not going to take off the Monday after the season opener, are you? You're not going to take off. You're not going to take off.
You know what? honestly, I will be gone. I'll tell you
what's going on in the tropics.
That'll be Labor Day Monday. Won't that be Labor Day Monday?
Let me give it to
do we have a show Labor Day?
Let me go. Give me a second.
Not anymore.
I will be gone.
Probably not.
I will be gone September 4th. That's the second week of the season. Wednesday, I'm leaving after the show. I'm leaving after the show Tuesday. I have to go. My roommate in college is having major surgery. I'm going to be there with him. He's had prostate cancer. He's got another situation he's got to deal with. I'm going to be there for him. So I will be gone the 4th. I'll be back on the 5th.
Well, you need to work the 2nd then.
I'll be here the 2nd. Yeah.
That's Labor Day, I believe. I think September 2nd is Labor Day. That's a Monday, right?
I'll be off that day. I don't think we'll have a show that day.
All right. You might as well take Tuesday as well then, you know.
Hey, Coach talking about taking Arbor Day off.
Yeah,
that's right. Columbus Day.
Yeah, right. We'll definitely be off Monday, Labor
Idaho
Day.
Potato Day.
Hell, you heard what it's a Labor Day holiday. Yeah,
National Donut Day.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But
too much of a good thing's too much.
I just can't wait. I can't wait till football season starts so we can actually have intelligent conversations.
See, I think y'all are wrong. We have nothing else to talk about if we don't sit around and talk about these polls. I love this stuff.
You're absolutely right. That's why we have them.
Yeah, but see, we talk about polls. We never talk about the Russians or the Germans.
Talking about it is fine and it's fun. I don't understand getting mad over it.
Who got mad?
You were fuming over there.
Oh, no, I know. I'll never go away from this. Rob, the 12 best teams, not a conference automatic bid. Even if they let a championship team from the Big 12 ACC in there, it should be ranked in your ranking, not, you get in this conference, you get a bye. We got the Pac-2. Are they going to get a...
No, they're not in on this.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is wait, because you probably are going to be right, and then you'll have something substantive to get mad about.
But
we don't know
it's not
yet.
fun if you're not mad about something. God, we all know that.
I have never been called positive in my life till I started coming on this show. It's ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Who's Alabama play first?
They got Western Kentucky, a much improved Western Kentucky.
There we go.
They're really good.
Okay.
Ask Wildcat. They're really good.
No. Don't go there.
The coaches say through weekend 1. You know, they won't be shouldn't be for self sign putting his yard on Sunday.
I tell you what, Rob, seriously, I keep talking about the Georgia game. That's a big game.
Yeah.
If he can pull it off, he can afford to lose 2 more games down the road. They're going to be. He loses that game, then loses to Tennessee or Auburn or LSU. It's going to be bad. I mean, people.
Well, exactly. That was my thing. Is that if he loses 2 ball games, then by the middle of October, they'll be wanting him fired.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that might save him on that is the fact that you can lose 2 ball games and still make the playoff.
Right.
In the SEC.
Right.
If he was losing 2 or 3 ball games and it was still the 14 playoff, he'd be in real trouble year 1.
Yeah.
He would be.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying is that I don't think he'll be fired even if he loses, 4 games by the end of the year. But the Feinbaum shows phones will be burning off the walls.
Right.
And want him gone.
Yeah, most
he
of
best
the
not be losing at halftime against any.
That's right.
most of the
Well, Nick Saban could run in and do the second half.
Look, Feinbaum callers, the only people on earth make Twitter look sane.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yep.
But,
hey, you didn't say that on my shirt.
I just feel like that. Everybody's got to calm down, but everybody in the two conferences can't win. You got Ohio State. They have what three games that are going to be competitive.
Right.
Should be competitive. And that's about all they have.
Well, I'll be honest with you, they got Georgia's schedule. Last year, Georgia, go back and look at Georgia's schedule of last year. It was simple. It was a weak schedule. It played out perfectly for them, and they won every single game.
All right, and
Ohio State's going to be really good.
Yeah, and but then I will say this: Dr. Ward said that Florida State, they beat Florida State, they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. Well, when you don't have 25 of your players there,
right?
Because there was basically that. We always say that was a meaningless game, and it was a big game for Georgia because all of their seniors had a goal set, and that made them the winningest senior class ever at the University of Georgia.
Yeah.
So that meant something to them. As far as it meant anything to FSU, after you just go see, Travis getting his leg broke and, what he's going to, that could ruin his career. He may have a Tiger Woods limp when he gets done.
Yeah.
With all this. We don't know.
Before the transfer days, I think a lot of those kids would have stayed and played for FSU. I really do.
Well,
I think for the transfer changed everything.
A lot of them came back just for that reason.
Yeah.
And then once they got whatever they got voted out. So.
And I'll be honest with you, I disagree with that. I think they should have played. That's just me. I think you play for your school.
You're old school like all of us that are sitting here having this conversation.
Right.
We have a little more integrity and commitment. Nowadays, there is no commitment.
You're right.
To anybody.
You're right.
So that's gone.
Robbie, we got to take a break.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good day.
You have a great day. Thank you for calling.
I would not have called if you hadn't have said something. So
well, you'll be calling.
Hey, you're the only one. You're the only one I'll let do this. I want you to know that you're special.
You've been beating up on Eddie here for the past week or so.
I enjoy that so much.
He's out of town. You can't.
Yeah, I love Eddie. People go, I love that guy. That's the reason we kid with him. We love him. He's a great man.
Well, he's changed his love to the afternoon because he calls them.
Oh, I know. He can't handle Jason and Jim. He cannot handle the Buckeye guys. Well, they cater. They pat him on the back and burp him. We don't. We bend him over and beat that butt.
Hey, easy there.
Whoa.
All right, let's take a break. We'll see you, Rob. Thank you. J. Michael's Restaurant, legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. We want to thank Stevenson Air Conditioning for the Alabama update. Jason and his crew do an incredible job. They're locals. They take care of locals throughout Northwest Florida. Give them a call. You're having a hard time getting that house cooled off. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Don't watch that power bill go through the roof. Call them. They'll service it. It'll run better. It's going to save you money. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck Tucker does another local. His dad was a principal at Mosley. Did an incredible job for years over there. He raised an outstanding son. He starts his own business. It's expanded throughout Northwest Florida. The elite realtors use them. We're talking multi-million-dollar homes. They all use South Oak Title and Closing, and so should you. Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing is #1. Just like the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, today and today only. World famous J. Michael Spaghetti, the best seafood colas beer, but on Wednesday you can get the best spaghetti you'll get anywhere. Beef O'Brady's today, another legendary restaurant in Lynn Haven, 10 wings inside for $9.99. Love Pat Perneau, the city commissioner of Lynn Haven's, the best they've ever had. Get out to Beef O'Brady's and have a great time. It's Beef O'Brady's, it's Lynn Haven. We'll be right back with Glenn Manley, with Brian, with Wildcat, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
On the line with us, and we are looking for the phrase that pays. Caller, what's that phrase that pays?
Shop on.
Yeah, my man. Hey, Hey, way to go. Where are you calling from, bro?
I'm driving. Actually, I'm coming down 231.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 9 miles per hour out of the west and a high of 95. Tonight, look for clear skies with a temperature near 80. Tomorrow, a high around 92 and mostly sunshine in the morning and then a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
In the jewelry business, there is no substitute for experience. David Adamson has over 46 years of experience, 32 of those in Lynn Haven. Designing and creating fine jewelry is more than a job for David, it's a joy. If you're looking for a spectacular jewelry design that says you, or perhaps you need your jewelry repaired, look no further than David Adamson Designer Jewelry. All work is done in-house and always to your complete satisfaction. Stop in today at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, 830 Ohio Avenue in Lynn Haven. They're on Facebook and at tcjeweler.com.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Martha Kinney, James Guadalmar, Jenna. All you Auburn fans, War Eagle Update is brought to you by the one and only Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. We just got through talking about what a great restaurant is, and the day only, every Wednesday. Get out there today at Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. 10 wings inside for $9.99. Cannot beat that. This is the home of the Auburn Tigers. You can listen to all Auburn football games right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Auburn's first game, again, August 31st versus Texas A&M. And again, you listen to it right here on our home station, covering the Auburn Tigers throughout the college football season. People are excited about it. Everything is going on in Auburn right now. Recruiting is going through the roof. Transfers, good transfers have gone in there. Hugh Freeze knocking out of the ballpark in recruiting. Everything is heading in the right direction. Do we have a new Pat Dye at Auburn? We will soon. We will find out in the next couple of years, because they have players. No excuses. They're getting players in there. They should start winning some ball games. I don't interrupt the Auburn update for anybody, especially a Yankee that supports the Michigan Wolverines.
But he wants to talk about Doc Werber's talking.
Okay. I'll change it. We'll do this Auburn update in a second. Let's bring on one of my favorite guys all time. This is an American hero, serviceman, Air Force. He does it all. I love him. You think I hate him? I love him. The one and only Michigan. Let's give him a hand. Yoo-hoo! Love you, brother. Love you, man.
Go Blue!
Go Michigan, Eddie. What you got for us today?
Go Blue Strike Tuesday. We're going to play spectacle. Hey, by the way, I tried to call in yesterday for the record, and you know this, Coach, but when I was ready to call in, the egg toss man called in, and then I had to go to work. So, in all fairness, I did try to call in.
We couldn't pass up world record egg toss holder.
That was a great egg. That was an egg toss. Was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
And I was going to take my chances with the new mouth of the South. Remember Jimmy Hart from WWF with Honky Tonk Man and Greg the Hammer Valentine?
Yeah.
Casey Kowaleski, a.k.a. Buckeye Boy, is now the new mouth of the South.
Hey, watch out. He's good. What he said was all correct.
What? Who? Buckeye Boy?
Yeah, he did a great job.
Did you bring up the Maryland playbook of 2022 and all that, all those scandals? No.
Do you really
You're
think
not fair
Michigan?
and balanced.
Okay, I'm not going to get into it with you.
Yeah. Hey, I was calling. You're talking about the Olympic boxers and all Dr. Ward.
Yes, we were during the Auburn update.
I was reading that some of the female boxers from Australia are actually defending the two
boxers in question because I guess they were born with an XY chromosome, and I wanted Dr. Ward's take on that, what he thinks of that. So next time he's on, ask him that question because I'm kind of interested in what he has to say about that.
Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah. Do it.
Write this down. X, Y, Z. Okay.
No, that's a football.
Coach is drawing up wide receiver.
90X hero. 90X, right? 90X hero. On one. Ready?
Anyway.
Hey, what'd you think about your boy Harbaugh? He was going to go do it. Then he decides to let his mom and dad do it. What's your take on that? Should he do it himself, or are you okay with it? His mother and father coming.
Well, first off, so you bring up Harbaugh's parents.
I love his parents. I have no problem with his parents.
Hold on, I'm talking. Don't underestimate the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers out of Bowling Green, home of the Corvette, by the way. The field is actually named after Mr. and Mrs. Harbaugh, by the way. And
talking about Western Kentucky? You talking about Western Kentucky?
Yeah, he coached
there.
there.
Don't underestimate them.
They're good. Alabama opens up with them. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah. I mean, just don't take them lightly is what I'm saying.
Exactly. Exactly.
Could be another App State going on.
Hey, Miss Gay, time out because you ramble a lot. Let me ask you this. I bragged. Did you hear me tell the story about Harbaugh?
No.
All right, let me tell you real quick. Let me tell you about it. I heard this story, and I told Jason Kovaleski this, and he kind of gave me that look he gives me sometimes. I said, Jason, I like Harbaugh after hearing this story. It makes me feel good about the man. I think he's a pretty good guy, really. And what he did, he had a satellite camp in South Alabama. Their coaching staff was together with South Alabama's coaching staff. It was time to leave, and he asked the head coach, Coach, what you got going on tonight? Because they're going to be leaving later that night, the Michigan staff. He goes, Coach, we have a trainer. His wife's going through cancer. They don't have a lot of money. We're going to a fundraiser for them, and we want to try to help him out as much as we can. He's a great guy. And they said, Coach looked at him, didn't say anything. He went away. He canceled the flight for his entire staff. They had to stay an extra day. He went and bought some clothes. He came back, and his coach, I thought you'd leave. He says, nope, I'm going to go to the fundraiser. I want to help raise money for this young man. He went there as the head coach at Michigan. It's a little bit bigger and more popular than the head coach of South Alabama. He helped raise a lot of money for that family and for his wife, that trainer's wife that had cancer. And I heard that story. I said, you know what? You got to be a pretty good guy to do that, I think. So that's a good story, and I got more respect for him. I do.
Well, he does a lot of stuff up there in Michigan, too. Coach Carr's grandson passed away at his age. Chad, they have an organization called Chad Tough. It's some kind of neurological brain issue. They're tumors. And him and Sarah Harbaugh are very big fundraisers for that organization for Coach Carr and Chad's parents. Jason was a backup quarterback when Brady was there in 2017. So that's not surprising because he does a lot of fundraisers like that. He's a unique individual, but he cares. He cares about his players. He cares about the community. He cares about the country and all that. So that's not surprising. You know, he gets a lot of bad publicity in the media, undeserving because they don't know the real Harbaugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Michigan, I will say this, even though you cheat on us, you two-time us, you go to the afternoon show and other shows because we intimidate you here. But I want to say this, only Glenn and I would let you do what you did today. Glenn has I just remembered, we got Mark McLeod on here in a minute. We had FSU update, a lot of great information. We don't have time to do it. I have Auburn stuff. I don't have time to do it. We did that because of you. We respect you, what a kind of man you are. We respect what a great father you are and how you love sports. And you are truly a great American. I want everybody to know that.
And
we
a great
do think
veteran,
we think the world of you. We really do. Now, we're being serious about that.
People got to know that me calling in, a lot of it's entertainment. We have fun with each other. You know, that's what makes the show, right?
Right.
And people need to realize that, you know? But here's the thing, too, in my defense. You say I call it an afternoon show. I'm afraid of this show. No, negative, Negatron. I call it when I have the chance because I do have a job. I do have a family and all that, too. So I call in when I have the chance. And like I said, I was going to call in yesterday, but I had to go into work.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what was the question you were asking about Western Kentucky and all that? What was the question in that? The first one you asked me?
Hey, I hate to do it,
just
buddy.
leave Western Kentucky alone.
We got to take a break. Hey, you have a great day. Call us tomorrow if you get an opportunity, okay?
All right, go Blues. See you.
Bye, buddy. Thank you, Miss Gay.
Thanks, buddy.
We got to take a break. We get back. Mark McLeod, Glenn, I apologize. I didn't even.
It's been a busy day.
Yeah,
it's been a busy day.
I was getting ready to do a whole 15 minutes in Auburn. Maybe we can get some of that in here today.
No, we can't.
No.
Here's the thing.
That just means you'll be here tomorrow.
I don't know. You'll have 18 people here tomorrow.
He's wearing his Gators shirt. He's not going to get any Auburn in.
Yeah. No, I know.
No, and when we're talking about Michigan, I want to be fair and balanced.
I know you do. I know you do.
But let me tell you about why he calls the afternoon show and the other shows compared to us. They change his diaper, they burp him, they baby him. Jason and I, we hard facts. We want to know what's going on. We tell it like it is, as far as you know.
Facts.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want that yard to look beautiful? We can make it happen for you. Call Patrick. He'll make sure it gets beautiful.
He said that with a straight face.
He did. Beefo Braves in Lynn Haven, thank you for the Auburn update that we didn't get to do. And I want to thank Newbies for the FSU update that we didn't do. Newbies, we love you. Got 4 great locations. One right near Glenn's house in St. Andrews.
Absolutely.
Love Newbies. Go have a great time. The best bands in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night at Newbies at the mothership. And Dr. Ward, appreciate you. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right. Go see Dr. Ward. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski can make that happen for you. And we're extremely pleased to have back that Cajun place. We can't get in the summertime. We can get in during football season. They got the best wings you can get anywhere. Football games are being played. $5 pitchers, Miller Lite. And if you're an LSU fan and you're watching a college football game, LSU's playing, they score a touchdown, you got that jersey on, you get a free Jell-O shot. On Sundays, if the Saints are playing, or even on Monday night, they score and you got the shirt on, you get a free Jell-O shot. Wednesday night is ladies' night. I love that Cajun place. I want to thank Taco Bell for the Port St. Joe and the Rutherford update. Taco Bell. We've got 3 great locations, Panama City Beach, Callaway, and Port St. Joe. We'll be right back with the legendary Mark McLeod. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back. ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphins!
And Kyle Wright.
And the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
The Mosley Dolphins take on rivals Niceville, Rutherford, and the Bay Tornadoes. Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Mike Atkinson. For the last 16 years, you've trusted my leadership at the Walton County Sheriff's Office. In that time, UCR crime rates have dropped 67%. That's no coincidence. You can count on me to serve with continued professionalism and provide the excellent hometown service you want. At our agency, excellence matters, as our law enforcement, fire rescue, and animal services are the first on scene. On Tuesday, August 20th, vote to re-elect Atkinson for Walton County Sheriff.
Paid for by Michael Atkinson Jr., Republican for Sheriff.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
You got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
It's The Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! Florida, every Wednesday, 8:30. The man, the myth, the legend,
The voice of
Mark
reason.
McLeod. Mark, I'm glad you're here. Wildcat has been struggling today. I've not had the support I need to
See, I
make this
warned
a
you, Mark.
good, positive show. It's just, thank you, Wildcat, for destroying my ego. All right, Mark, how you doing, sir?
Hey, doing well. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Are you feeling good?
Feeling really good.
Good. Just making
Ready
sure.
to go.
Just making
Ready
sure.
to go.
All right, Florida Gators preseason poll, nowhere to be found, unless you look at the ESPN computer poll where they did get ranked, which surprised me. And they mentioned they play more ranked teams than any other team in college football. Most teams, a lot of teams are playing 5. They think that's a big deal. Or Florida's playing 8. But the injuries, I want to talk about the injury, the defensive lineman. Give us a rundown. What are you hearing? Give us a little injury report and what's going on down in Gainesville as far as college football.
Yeah, 8 teams, not in the top 25, 8 in the top 20. That's who Florida plays. So
wow,
you're not far from half the teams in the top 20 Florida's playing.
Yeah.
They had a good scrimmage the other day. Billy Napier was very excited about 122 plays they got in. He had the good and bad in that first scrimmage, but certainly the bad was the injury because you lose a defensive tackle who you're really counting on in redshirt sophomore Jamari Lyons. He's a guy who, as Napier said, one of the big issues is he's a guy we can play on the edge. We can play him on the nose. He has that kind of talent, that quickness off the snap, the strength, because he has everything that you really like about a young player. And, of course, he played quite a bit of football last year for Florida's redshirt freshman, so particularly end of the year. Of course, he's the one that got kicked out of the FSU game, but broke his ankle during the scrimmage. He said that freshman Michael Burrow, sophomore Kelby Collins, and JUCO transfer Brian Taylor are probably the top first 3 guys up to kind of help take his place. But, a tough injury that you don't want to see. As far as the other injuries, they've got some guys banged up. They got some guys back after the scrimmage, which, you would have loved to have had them during the scrimmage. But still Caden Jones nicked up a little bit. Gavin Hill, who's a reserve at tight end down the depth chart. And then, of course, Montrell Johnson, the guy you're missing. But, the good news for Florida, they liked what they saw at running back with Trayon Webb, particularly Jacoby Jackson, really turning some heads. A guy from Pensacola Catholic who, came the JUCO route. He's redshirt junior now at 5'10", roughly 215, 220. I think he's up to 220 now. But he's turning some heads for Florida. Defensively, really you're starting to see things kind of come together, and you're getting a good sense of the depth chart overall. Still some battles to be won on the front, but I think you know who's going to go at linebacker, and you certainly, I think you really ironed out, Coach, who you're going to see in the secondary.
Mark, I'm going to ask you, I was listening when you said they played the scrimmage, 122 plays. Did he break down, did it say how many times the 1s and 2s, how many plays they got in the scrimmage Saturday?
No, he didn't break that down. Kind of broke it down just on effort and pursuit was really good. They were really pleased with what they saw there. The offense moved the ball well. They scored a lot of points. But he said they fell short on their explosive plays.
Yeah.
But he talked about it being pretty clean in terms of turnovers. The things he was critical about, he wants to see the offense play at a better overall pace. There were too many issues getting the play in from helmet communication to getting the ball snapped. He wants to shrink that down to ideally in the low 20s, or if they really want to go fast, in the 30s. No delay of game penalties, anything like that. He just felt like
that, scrimmage one, you got to get these things ironed out with between the staff and everything going on in the huddle, and then you've got some younger guys needing to line up and get where they need to be. So he just wants to see things move better at a faster pace. Defensively, he said tackling was good outside of about 20 plays. He said, 122 play scrimmage. He said 20 missed tackles on the day. He said some of those were bad that they really need to clean up. But overall, he said tackling was pretty good. So, this week, he talked about this being a huge week because they really want to iron all these issues out, get consistent, and really start to really work this week in developing the habits that they need to improve upon, and also get the contingency plans. With the injury to Lyons, he talked about, now this is kind of where we kind of have better idea of who's playing, even though they're still fighting for positions, and who's going to be the starter, who's going to be the reserve. But, this is where you start to iron things out a little bit. And he did say, hey, look, guys, I'm really pleased because we have more battles across the board by position than we've had in my first 2 years at Florida.
Yeah, it's interesting listening you talk about their scrimmage. Auburn, you've seen all these injuries now. Texas A&M lost their best running back. Texas lost two of their top three running backs. Auburn, in their scrimmage Saturday, at certain periods, they didn't even put them to the ground. They would thud off instead of put them on the ground. Alabama was going live. Alabama, now 122 play scrimmage is a lot of plays. Alabama only ran 102. 80 of those were for the first and second team offense and defense. Again, Auburn didn't hit the entire time. Everybody's worried about these injuries. Florida has one to a key player there. What do you think going forward? Did he say anything about the next scrimmage? Are they going to back it down some? They got Miami week 1 in a huge football game. You got to be concerned with the injuries, but you got to get them ready to play. Did he say anything about the next scrimmage?
No, he just said that they're looking forward to the next scrimmage. I mean, one of the players also mentioned that too. And speaking of the media, but yeah, I think next scrimmage, it's the things they want to iron out. They want to make sure all these things that I discussed are better. Communication, obviously, a huge part of it, because guys, we're not that far away from from the kickoff against Miami. So this next scrimmage is going to be big, and then I think following that, you'll have a good practice sessions where there'll be more of like glorified walkthroughs, because you're right, they don't want to get guys injured.
Look how it's changed. When we played back in the day, you had two-a-days, you had all this hitting, all this crazy stuff, and then we would have 3 big scrimmages and then the game. Now, and tell me if I'm wrong at what Florida's doing, but like most of these schools now are having 2 big scrimmages, and then 2 weeks before the game, it's not really a scrimmage. Is Florida going to have 3 big ones, or are they just going to have 2 and then cut back on not even have a scrimmage the week before, 2 weeks before the Miami game?
Yeah, I think they're going to have 2 big ones.
So I guess everybody's doing that now. Wow.
Yeah. They just it is funny. I remember talking to Florida players in the 80s, and I remember Florida beat Georgia bad in '84, but then Georgia came back and hammered them in '85. And I asked through the years talking to players, and one of them told me, he goes, the thing about it, we had no legs. He said Charlie was so amped up. Charlie Pell was so amped up, and the coaches get jacked up. He goes, people don't realize the coaches on the practice field, you guys know this, they get, big game, they get jacked up on the practice field too. He goes, we're getting excited as it draws closer to the game, and so are the coaches. He goes, man, we were out there hitting on Thursday. He goes, we're knocking each other all over the place on Thursday, and then we had Friday to kind of get our legs under us and get together, because we had to go play football Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
He said it probably would have been much better had we hit on Monday, Tuesday, and then kind of taking it easy Wednesday, giving us Thursday and Friday to get our legs back under us.
Mark, if you had to pick 1 or 2, the players that maybe not a lot of people know right now, but come week 3 or 4, all Gator fans are going to be talking about, who would those players be?
Quarterback Tim Tebow, outstanding player. Florida needs the big lips, so they're bringing him back, guys. That would be key. No, actually, Wow. That's a great question. It really is. I think offensively, one guy who really kind of stood out in the scrimmage, you haven't heard a whole lot about him lately. You did in the spring is Chimera Dike, the transfer from Wisconsin, the wide receiver. He looked awfully good from what I've heard. Tank Hawkins looked good, a freshman who caught 2 touchdown passes during the scrimmage and really demonstrated his speed on one of those catches. Well, really both, but particularly on one. I think those are guys. Here's the problem. Graham Mertz has looked great, but also, guys, a guy who stepped up is DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway, from what I'm hearing, he does not look like the kid he did in the spring who was kind of wide-eyed and looking around going, oh, my gosh, this game's fast, He really is looking better, and I think the helmet communication is helping him, Brian. Yeah. But also, I think a problem for Florida, they haven't figured out the right side of the offensive line. This is not good. They've got a couple guys competing there. They may end up having to move Rod Kearney over to right guard and see if that's a play they can make. But Florida's got to figure some things out on the right side. One of the things that Billy Napier said that he described a run by K.D. Daniels, freshman running back, said he did a beautiful job. Turned, saw a small little hole, ran right through it, and just exploded, taking his speed. He almost took it to the house. But he said he said we need to get some better blocking on the perimeter, and that was Florida's problem last year. Yeah. Right tackle, and we're really right guard too, but right tackle was a real sore spot for the Gators, and guys, Dixon Crenshaw, who came in, he's got to get better and got to kind of figure it out and set it. He's done some nice things for Florida coming in, transferring, but got to get better.
All right, Mark, we got to take a break. We'll finish up with Mark McLeod just in a second. We want you to get out to J. Michael's restaurant today, have that world-famous J. Michael's spaghetti. Get down to that Cajun place, have a wonderful time. College football season back, and they're back with us. Get down there and have the best wings, the best cold beer, great food, that Cajun place. And if you're an LSU fan, make sure you have that jersey on or that T-shirt on when you get down and watch this game. They score, free Jell-O shot. Stevenson Air Conditioning, thank you for everything you do. If you have any problems taking the house cool, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning, South Oak Title and Closing. All these wonderful people. Chuck Tucker does an unbelievable job. Turpro Pest Control, #1. You want that yard looking beautiful, call Patrick. Yard will look beautiful. Turpro Pest Control, #1. Dr. Chad Mitchell, any type of injury, go see Chad. This will be his 25th year on Bay County sidelines. We'll be right back with Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 9 miles per hour out of the west and a high of 95. Tonight, look for clear skies with a temperature near 80. Tomorrow, a high around 92 and mostly sunshine in the morning and then a likelihood of thunderstorms. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Most people sign up for health insurance during the open enrollment period at the end of the year. But did you know you may qualify for a special enrollment period at any time during the year? Florida Health Connector can tell you if you're qualified for a zero premium plan.
Call Florida Health Connector today at 850-249-1010.
Florida Health Connector. We connect to blue.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do it, baby. Play it. Love that song. Don't you forget it.
Hot, crispy bacon.
Yep.
But it wouldn't be nothing.
And we're back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I was on the, you called me. I was texting Andy Burcham, the voice of the Auburn Tigers. We're trying to work out what day he's going to come up. It will not be Tuesday.
This is the Florida update. Why are you talking to Auburn people?
Yeah, because I'm telling him that
I got him a whole new fancy intro and everything. Maybe
like you doing like you do, Mark?
Maybe, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
hey, Mark, you were talking about this. We were talking about those scrimmages and stuff. I was telling Glenn between the breaks at Southern Mississippi, they were pretty sharp. Now, usually you get an idea after the first scrimmage who's going to be starting at the positions. Of course, they always tell you it's close, keep working hard. You know, you're right there. And then after the second scrimmage, I think most coaches know that here's our first two depth chart. These are our guys. And then they say the third and our last scrimmage, it's going to verify who's going to be starting against the, week one, whoever you open up with. So we'd be working really hard the third scrimmage, working hard to see. And again, I think they knew by at least the second scrimmage who's going to be starting. But you said something about the legs being tired. I remember that. I truly remember that. We'd go out every Thursday with shorts and shoulder pads, and you might as well have everything on because nothing changed. You still hit. You just didn't bring them to the ground. You still got banged up quite a bit. But I do remember the beginning of the year how your legs would be heavy, and then they would try to get them back under you somewhat. But it was something else, man. College football is tough, especially back in the 70s when they didn't care if you got hurt. They just put through another body in there. Very physical, time-consuming. It's like a full-time job. You earn that scholarship, believe me.
Well, we always knew who the starter was going to be, and then my legs never got heavy on Thursday. I was ready.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that embarrassment. Thank you so much. Hey, I want to go this week. ESPN came out with their latest SP computer, whatever, and Florida was ranked in there. And actually, one analyst, AKA Stafford Steve, whoever he is, he recognized, like everybody does, that Florida's got the most difficult schedule in college football. DraftKings sports betting has the Florida Gators 4.5 over under, and he goes they will definitely go over. He has Florida going 7-5. A key game for them is going to be the Central Florida ball game, October 5th. Coach Spurrier said Florida's going to win 8 games. And you look at the last 5, they came up with their percentage of Florida's success in these ball games. November 2nd versus Georgia, they only gave them a 15% chance to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. November 9th at Texas. Georgia is, by the way, number 1 ranked team in the country. Texas is number 4 ranked team in the country. They give them a 14% chance to win that game on the road. And then on November 16th versus number 13th LSU, they got a 47% chance to beat them at home. And then the number 23 team in the country, on November 23rd, the number 6 team in the country, Ole Miss, they have a 48% chance to win that ball game. And then on the last game of the year at FSU, the number 10 team in the country, they get a 34% chance to winning. That might be a record, playing that many teams ranked that high in one year for any team, especially 5 games in a row. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a brutal schedule. But, remember, so many of these teams are starting new quarterbacks, although the helmet communication should greatly assist them. So many of these teams also have hit the transfer portal left and right. How's that going to work out for them? Usually it works out pretty well. Kids really seem to adjust well, but it's a brutal schedule. And by the way, we're talking about the old practice sessions. I'll never forget what Jack Hairston, the longtime Gainesville Sun Gator beat writer, sports columnist, told me about Panama City's Henry Davis, who, of course, played at Bay High School. Fantastic athlete, running back, I believe, at Bay High, and then ended up being a DB at Florida. Harrison told me that Doug Dickey and the Florida coaches told him they had to go to Henry Davis and say, tone it down at practice a little bit. You're killing our guys out there. And of course, back then, it was largely a running game, so he would come up and make the big hit.
Right.
And Harrison told me that one of the Florida coaches told him, he's cracked like 3 or 4 helmets this season already. I mean, Henry Davis of Panama City, he was an absolute missile. He really was.
He really was, and he ended up hurting his knee playing basketball, pickup game.
Yeah, you're talking about practice. Wow. I don't know if you ever had opportunity, Mark, go watch when Charlie Pell was the coach at Florida. You go watch them practice or go to their coaching clinic, go out there and watch them during spring, and remember who he played for. And Coach Bryant, legendary, how hard it was to practice at Alabama, Texas A&M. Florida used to work hard. You hear me? They worked their tails off for Charlie Pell. They got after it.
They did. And by the way, Coach Manley, Hairston told me that Davis never really fully came back after that knee injury.
Right.
But he said he had talked to some people in the NFL, and they felt Henry Davis would have been probably a third-round draft pick in the NFL had that knee. He'd been able to come back after that knee injury and play the way he had played.
Right. Yeah. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's on the wall up there in the gym. But he was fantastic. I was coaching at Jinx then, but we'd always make sure we'd line him up how many times he was going to knock somebody out.
Is your picture beside him in the Hall of Fame up there?
No. Mine's with all the little munchkins. Mine's over there.
You are in there.
Lollipop kids. Yeah, I'm there, but
that's good. That's a good thing. All right, Mark, you got anything else for us on the Gators?
No, we're pretty good. I mean, again, they've got to work these issues out on the right side of the offensive line. That is the biggest concern, I think, right now for Florida, staying healthy and continuing to develop guys. I think they feel really good about the 2 deep. That one of the guys I talked to, he's been out at practice a few times. He said, I'm telling you, the 2 deep at Florida, this is definitely probably the best it's been in probably 6 years. So he's going back to that year that Florida played really well under Mullen. Was that 2019, I believe it was.
I cannot wait that Miami football game. But it's so big for both teams. That's going to be a great football game, I think.
It is. And look, you've got a great running back in, what's his name, Martinez, the transfer from Oregon State at Miami. You're talking about a 6'1", 230-pound back. He's looking really good in practice from what I heard from one of the Miami guys.
What time are they practicing? Do you know?
Florida?
Yeah.
They're shifting it around. They're doing morning, afternoon.
That's right. We talked about that, yeah.
Because there are 3 games still in limbo as to whether they're going to be afternoon games or night games.
Yeah, that Miami kickoff at 2:30 Central Time, 3:30 Eastern, that's going to be brutal. That heat and humidity down there in that game, good God. Crazy. What? Oh, hey, I want to ask you too. Let me ask you before I forget. What did you think about the AP poll? Anything stand out? Anything surprise you?
No, not really. I think with every poll there may be a few teams too high. Let's see what happens. But overall, no. I think it was probably about what I thought it would be. I wanted to mention real quickly. I know we got to get out of here, but Joey Slackman. We got an opportunity to speak to Joey Slackman, the defensive transfer from Penn. He said the biggest game he's ever played was before 12,000.
Ivy League thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So can you imagine the Florida-Miami game being the kickoff? He's not going to be able to control himself. He's really not.
If it was in Miami, it'd be the same crowd.
Hey, Mark, we got about 30 seconds. Do you agree with this? Feinbaum said that FSU at number 10 is overranked, and Penn State at number 8, both of them are overranked. Yes or no?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But you know, you hear some good things coming out of Florida State camp. You really do. Some guys really come on. So I don't know, you know. But 10, 12, I think I would. If it would have been me, I would have given FSU around 12, maybe 13.
Okay, that's coming from a Gator. We'll get you next Wednesday.
13 number is not one people want to hear.
That's right. Well, they've already voted. I heard the committee already voted.
They're out. All right. Yeah, you got to feel seriously. You got to feel really bad for a team that wins 12 regular season games and don't make the playoffs. I hate it for Georgia. I thought it was terrible. All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Listen for the gunshots.
That was well done.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up.